Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to be here with you. I'm quite intrigued as well because I'm not an entrepreneur in the usual meaning of the word. I'm a composer and an artist, and I think that there are some parallels there. That's why I responded to the invitation from Nicolas Dufourc to come and speak to you. I'm not a pop music composer. I'm not a cinema music composer. I write music down as has been done for centuries. What I need to do is capture music on a score. Like a CEO, first and foremost, there's the reflection. There's a particular approach. You go deep within you. You have an idea. You have a dream. At the moment, I'm spending many hours writing an opera in a library. And then finally, I'm supposed to submit this score in February. And then there'll be a team of around 100 people with singers, directors, the orchestra, and people who'll be inspired or working with this score. For me, first and foremost, I need to reflect on this work on my own. And think about the angle I'll use to be able to share this with others, how I can make it universal. There's a contrast, a saying that really interests me. The real faced with the creative momentum. Reality can be an obstacle, but it also can be a source of inspiration when you're creating. I think that might be something that interests you. The idea starts to take shape when the opera starts to take shape. I've created about 100 pages, and no doubt there are about 400 or 500 pages in there. In the end, there's a presence of the work, the same as for a painting. It starts to emerge gradually over time from the dreams that you had initially. This presence of the work of this company or the program or the game. Gradually, it imposes its own rules on you. That's what a philosopher called the presence or the truth of the fiction. There's a truth in a company as well that you can observe. Every decision or gesture or every note that you write down, to some extent, that by necessity leads to another one. You can't head to infinity and give you some limits. It's the work that increasingly imposes limits on you. I realize that this creative momentum is a metamorphosis. You need to be able to listen to this work. The work has a status, and gradually it emerges and asks questions of you. So you need to guess what I am, otherwise you'll be devoured. I think we're all dealing with this question of creativity. We need to be there listening, observing what is emerging, and understanding what this monster is, which is emerging before our very eyes. Faced with this environment, the life of this work itself, we need to ensure that we don't lose the dreams that were there at the outset, that you experienced in this initial solitude. In metamorphosis, what's interesting is you're continually driven by this primary intuition. When you're writing or creating a company, or when you're composing, you need to be able to remain faithful to yourself and listening to the work within you. If I'm talking about an opera, I had some big ideas about a love scene with an angel and a human being. It's an adaptation of a film by Wim Wenders, The Wings of Desire. And I had some very powerful ideas. Gradually, these ideas were modified. And they had to when they came up against reality. There's a circus that appears in the middle of the film. This is in the opera. It appears in the middle of the work, around 30 minutes in. And once the composition is there and the circus is there, the love scene that I initially envisaged can no longer exist as I'd imagined it. Means that there's been a trajectory. Something has happened in this metamorphosis of the angel. The angel has moved towards the human creature. It's forced me to rethink what I'd initially envisaged. There's this contrast between the work that's being constructed and your initial dream. To go back to this momentum that you have at the beginning, this creative momentum when you're alone. You need to be aware of traditions. Many entrepreneurs have mentioned this. There's the idea of something that's been unheard of, not done before. What hasn't been imagined before? Of course, creation can't stand on its own, but there's something in it that hasn't yet been created, something that hasn't been dreamt up yet or imagined. Thank you very much for listening to me, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.